going live soon. And as you can see, it's just prompting saying that the meeting is being live streamed. So if you guys would prefer to leave the meeting and watch on Facebook, you can do that as well. And for the people that would like to stay and watch in real time, then you can click got it. And I'll just okay. Awesome, cool. So now we are live, officially live. Welcome everyone to the Expert Talks episode 3. And today we're going to be focusing on the Canada Summer Jobs Program, also known as the CSJ Program. My name is Bea again, and I will be your host for tonight. And yeah, so anyone that is on FB right now that is watching, or Anna, if you can just put on the chat really quickly that they can of course share this expert talks to anyone that they know, to groups, to chats, wherever it will reach, it will be of great help to us. And so before we get started with the event, I just want to make sure that all of our audience mics are muted. Everyone that is on Zoom, please make sure to mute your mics. We also have live captions. So if you feel that you would be more comfortable with a live transcript, please click on the button that says CC. So just if you can just move to the next slide, just to show what that looks like. So yeah, so if you can just click on the CC button to turn on your live captions, for anyone that needs it, you can go right ahead. And for the people that would like to chat with our host or co-host, you can also go ahead and address that onto the chat box. But for any general inquiries or any general questions, if I can get Kurt to please wave your hands, they will be the one to kind of get the questions that you may have or any general inquiries again. So with that being said, I would like to go ahead, and before we get started with the actual event, I would like to go ahead and get started with the land acknowledgements. So of course, we want to acknowledge that what we call Alberta is a traditional and ancestral territory of many people presently subject to Treaties 6, 7, and 8, namely the Blackfoot Confederacy, which includes the Kainai, Piikani, Siksika, the Cree, Dene, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, Stoney Nakoda, and the Tsuut'ina Nation, and the Métis people of Alberta. And this includes the Métis settlements and the 6 regions of the Métis Nation of Alberta within the historical Northwest Métis homeland. We, the Expert Collective, acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who have lived in and cared for these lands for many, many generations. And we are, of course, grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We make this acknowledgement as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting. All right. So before we go into anything else as well, I would just like to welcome our speakers right now. So I just like to remind everyone that this is a brave space for our speakers, meaning that this is an environment that allows our speakers to share their experiences. And we also encourage you to share your experiences with CSJ or the Canada Summer Jobs Experience, any kind of experience that you have in terms of looking for jobs, looking for employment, or anything of the sort. In which when we share this experience, we can learn and grow from. And some topics may or may not cause us comfort during this talk, but these experiences are to be acknowledged with respect and understanding. And so this brave space is inclusive to all despite the race, sex, gender, ability, status, and experience. With that being said, I would just like to invite everyone, if you want to put your pronouns into the name, you can definitely rename yourself. And it will just be, for example, if I wanted to kind of change my name, I go by she, her, and I just go on the side and I have my name changed right there. So if anyone who would prefer to do that, please go ahead and feel free to do so. All right, so let's officially begin. So all of our speakers are currently participating in the CSJ program here at the Expert Collective. And we have a lot of speakers today. So at first I would like to call on JV. So if JV can just say hi. So I've known JV for
There.
quite a while. I've known JV for quite a while, and yeah, I'm not sure. Can you talk about like a little bit about yourself, JV?
Hi there, my name is Jay or JV. Uh, I just recently got hired on with tech just about a month ago and been working as a graphic artist. I have a huge passion for art. So getting into a job like this was very meaningful to me. I also like fitness. I like to work out in my spare time and then go on for some hikes.
Awesome. Thank you, JV. All right. And the next one I would like to call on Cedric. So I've known Cedric for only a month, but he's been my bestie since then. So Cedric, if you would like to introduce yourself a little bit.
Hello, my name's Cedric. I live in Calgary. I'm a second year student at the University of Calgary. I'm taking environmental chemistry. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cedric. All right. And another one that is also my workplace bestie, I would like to call on Gian. And if you can please introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, my name is Gian. I am a recent graduate from the University of Calgary, specializing in human resource management. And yeah, that's currently my role right now.
Awesome. Yes, Gian is our wonderful HR who has been helping me so much. Thank you, Gian. All right, and next we have Josiah. So Josiah, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Josiah. I am a student and I am also a participant of the CSJ program. And I'll be telling you more about my experiences and reflect on that later on in the event.
Awesome, perfect. Thank you, Miss Beautiful Josiah. Next we have one of my long-term friends, Gwen. Gwen and I went to high school together, but Gwen, you can go ahead, take the floor.
Hi, my name is Gwen. I just recently started working for Tech under CSJ as a marketing assistant, and I'm also a recent graduate with a bachelor's in tourism management.
Awesome. Okay. And am I missing anyone else? I think that is everyone. We do have a team in the background that is also working on the Facebook, which is Anna. Anna, give us a wave in the Facebook if you can. We have Kurt here as well, who I've mentioned before, who will be taking your general inquiries and questions on the Zoom chat. All right. So I think we are good to go. So right now we are going to go over a very quick kind of like a research that we found in the year of 2019. So in the year of 2019, Alberta's youth employment was the third lowest in the country and had the fourth highest unemployment rate with a 12.7% of youths unemployed. But before we go over all of the details, I would also like to introduce a little bit about what the Expert Collective is, because it's definitely relevant onto the youth unemployment. So I will be presenting this a little bit. So if Jess can just share the screen. Awesome. Okay, so this is the Expert Collective annual report, or the 2021 annual report. So if you can just go right down ahead. So the Expert Collective was founded in the year 2020, but the Expert Collective is a not-for-profit organization, and it comprises a team of diverse professionals who have been in the business for many decades, hence experts. So I think we can like skip this screen and we can go on to when we registered the Expert Collective as a non-for-profit. So we are officially a non-for-profit organization. And if you can go on to the next screen after. Yeah, so on August 18, 2021 was when we officially registered as a not-for-profit organization. And coming out of this, we have gotten a lot of calls by the government of Alberta to submit proposals under different programs. So one of the programs that we have submitted before, way before even registering as a not-for-profit, was under the Support for Students Learning Program, also known as the SSLP. So if we can go right on ahead into SSLP, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. Yeah, so the SSLP, or what we would like to call now For the Love of Youth, For the Love of Youth project basically focuses on helping the youth be exposed to numerous opportunities that it will enable them to soar high and achieve their goals. I like to think of this as like a really, really big CSJ program, because right now we are in the negotiation process for this specific project. And again, we do aim to improve the youth attachment to learning, build strong social networks, and set the educational and career related goals, and get access to online support and technologies. So as you can kind of see, those are 4 main goals that we have. If you can go to the next slide, please. So our founders basically saw a problem during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it basically affected the lives of youth in many, many ways. Aside from just online learning, some of the youths were not ready for the abrupt change, and therefore a lot of them were dropping out of school. And in addition to this fact, there was a lack of access to after school programs such as tutoring, counseling, and other social support that of course the youth desperately needed at the time and still now. So how do we go about those problems? Well, the Expert Collective developed the For the Love of Youth project, which is for the FLY project, to address these concerns and issues. So if you can go to the next slide. So like I've said before or mentioned before, we do have the 4 different objectives. We have academic persistence and preparedness, which basically enables the students to engage in their studies and increase their educational attainment. We have comprehensive mentorship and mental well-being, which is to increase students' attachment to their learning and social networks, and as well as to improve their sense of belonging and academic motivation. The third one is building educational aspirations and resiliency, which is basically enhancing the students in learning experiences with the aim of basically setting them up for their career related goals. And of course, last but not least, is increasing connectivity, which is basically to improve students' access to technologies, software, and hardware and related learning or training. Because as we all know, during the pandemic, it was very hard for many, many people to use the Wi-Fi, and that's basically a part of it. And how do we become engaged in technology in a safe way? And we talk a lot about that during this FLY project. So if we can go to the next slide. So these are basically just different kind of ideas slash solutions that we found under the different objectives. So for example, again, going into that increasing connectivity, we have online support services, regular information and events dissemination, IT training, marketing, workshops, and all that. So that basically kind of just like talks a little bit about how you can be safe on the internet. So that's just kind of the services that, or the solutions that we provide under the FLY project. So Jess, if you can go to the next one. Yeah, so this is the FLY project framework that we have. So very, very shortly, we are targeting the 1,000 youth ages 15 to 30 years old, and our distribution per region province basically is in that little box right there. So we are trying to go nationwide, but for now we are aiming for targeting mostly people in Canada, mostly the youth in Canada. You can go ahead, Jess, and move to the next one. Maybe you can skip the organizational chart. Maybe we can skip this one too. So with all of the things that we have in the previous one, I'll just explain it very quickly. The previous one and the tech conceptual framework, basically what we want to do is we want to, specifically for the CSJ program and for the Love of Youth project, is we want to basically make a bridge between the youth and the Canadian labor market. And that's basically what this explains a little bit. So you can go ahead, Jess. These are basically our foundational pillars: transparency, empowerment, and connectivity. Transparency, we embody and promote authorized practitioners and legitimate service providers. Empowerment, we foster accountability for acting in each one's best interest by providing informed decision-making choices. And connectivity is we build and maintain robust ethical relationships and networks to fulfill our vision, mission, and goals. So like I said before, we have many, many business affiliates that are authorized or basically legit in their own service or in their own careers, and they are the ones that we kind of connect our people to, our youths to, our clients to, whoever needs the solutions, we connect them to. You can go ahead, Justin, to the next one. So this is just quickly our vision, our mission, and our goals. Our vision is to build a global network of, again, experts from diverse fields to meet the evolving demands of our clients. Our mission is to bridge the immigration education and labor market gaps through unified holistic service approach. And our goal is to aim to help a global market of unprotected individuals to achieve the life that they deserve. And unprotected individuals counts as students and youth. All right, so I think that that is most of what the tech is, our vision, mission, and goals. If you guys would like to know a little bit more about our solutions and how we match people to our BAs, you can go ahead and check out our website, or you can go ahead and ask Kurt for any direct questions that you may have, or ask Anna, who is on our Facebook right now. All right, so I think we can go to the actual research now. Awesome. All right. So as I mentioned before, this was a study done in 2019. And if Kurt can just provide the resource on the chat, that would be very, very helpful. So as you can see here, the Alberta's employment rate was the third lowest in the country and had the fourth highest unemployment rate with 12.7 of youth unemployed. And though due to the COVID-19 pandemic, these numbers have increased and created a risk of long-term unemployment for youths all over Alberta. So tech wants to provide youths with an opportunity that can help them guide into their careers by inspiring and educating them on the variety of careers that they have access to. And not only does this stop the de-escalation, the employment among youths, but it also helped them with experiencing different job opportunities. So as you can see here, we have our objective, which, like I said before, is related to the CSJ program and is also related to a little bit about the PRIDE project. So starting off with for tonight's expert talks, I would like to invite JV to help us answer what is the Canada Summer Jobs Program, or what is the CSJ program? And Jess, if you can just like turn the screen down so they can see JV, or unshare your screen so they can see JV. Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Bea. All right, so we're going to start off. What is the Canada Summer Jobs CSJ program? CSJ is a program made for young Canadians ages 15 to 30 years old to gain skills and experiences through paid employment. Through the CSJ program, participants receive opportunities that they can use to overcome barriers when entering a career path. Essentially allows them to add experiences and skills to the resume, which can help when applying for more professional jobs or jobs within careers that require previous experience. The program also provides wage subsidies for non-profit organizations. So for tech, we're able to provide the wages for our employees through the Canada Summer Jobs Program. Non-profits organizations so that they are able to create summer work positions. Youth all over Canada can find all types of opportunities through jobbank.gc.ca. So if Jess, if you can share the screen again for the job bank, and we can show you what it looks like. And what's great is that you're able to filter out the jobs based on experience or a field that you desire through the job bank. And there it is. So you can access that again through that link, jobbank.gc.ca. And I'll leave it back to Bea. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you, JV. And so yeah, Kurt, if you can just quickly copy and paste the link onto the chat box, and as well Anna for our Facebook audience, if you guys can copy the link real quickly, just to kind of show where they can access this website. So yeah, the Canada Job Bank is a very good tool to kind of assess not just what you're looking for as a job, but it can also help you assess like your career path as well. Alice Alberta is also a really good option. And if you guys are ever curious on the different kinds of websites that we are talking about, we can definitely send you a follow-up email and you can access the websites through that. So again, thank you, JB, for giving us your insight. So now I would like to hear from Gian, who is our wonderful HR and who handles all the onboarding for the Expert Collective. So my question for you, good sir, is do you think that there's a specific skill set that youth should have before joining a position in the CSJ program?
Yeah, I think youth should have like a basic skill set, like such as communication skills, reading and writing skills, and some knowledge in how to use Microsoft Word, Excel, and Microsoft Office. This is all stuff that they learn in school anyways, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And there's no need to be an expert in these things. And that actually goes into my next point. Companies don't expect candidates to be perfect. And if they do, then they really shouldn't, because we're all human, we're not perfect. But something that they will be looking for is whether candidates are eager, determined, future oriented, and coachable. Youth have great potential in the workforce. So if companies see that potential, they will look to hire those people, especially if the job that they apply for is relevant to what they want to do in, say, 5 or 10 years' time. Um, what do they hire people that have like potential, but maybe not the skills for the job? It's because it provides an opportunity for growth and personal development when they work for the company. So companies usually don't hire people that stay there for just 8 weeks. They want to keep you for as long as possible so you can continue to develop and even move up within the company if you do a good job. So like even if they can't keep you for the time being, you might have school or whatever, they will look to have you work for them sometime in the future. So summer jobs are great for that because if they want to keep you, they'll extend your offer to next summer as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Gian. And I just have a follow-up question for you, Gian, if you don't mind. So I know Gian has done HR before as well, before the Expert Collective, and so he's very knowledgeable on this certain topic. But basically, my question for you is, what is the difference between the Canada Summer Jobs Program and an actual full internship?
Yeah, so the Canada Summer Jobs Program is more of just like an 8-week term where you can like hone your skills and experience with like a nonprofit organization. And it's like a good way to gain that experience through a nonprofit organization because like most nonprofits are usually on the smaller end. So you actually get a lot more experience as you would like, for example, an internship at like a bigger company. So like a summer internship is usually for the entirety of summer. So that would be like from May till August normally, at least in the corporate section. But yeah, you'd kind of just be like helping with like the basic operations and like you'd follow like the basic policies. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so if anyone is looking to do the CSJ, as you guys have heard, it is only for 8 weeks. So people that cannot commit to the whole duration of the summer, duration of winter during their internship, CSJ is a really good program for you to try. So yeah, so it's a good thing that most of the skills that you need are just basically just the soft skills that you can have. And everyone feel free to always just like develop your own skills in education by using like Google Education or kind of like getting like mini certificates online. It doesn't hurt to try and it doesn't hurt to have it on your resume as well if you're looking for that. Again, what Gian said, they're not looking for it, but it would be a good skill set to have and a good introduction to what you can in your related careers. So next we have our IT lead, Cedric. So for you, Mr., how does the CSJ program help youth develop their career skills? Or how do you think CSJ program help youth develop their career skills?
So the CSJ program helps youth develop the career skills as it allows the youth to gain real-world experience in their field of choice. While reading and learning about future career paths is a good way to learn and help learn about and develop skills, real-world experience is an invaluable asset that allows the youth to get a hands-on experience in their field of work and will help them become more employable in the future. The experiences they gain through the CSJ program can serve as a good introduction to the workforce or as a tool they can use to add on to their previous experiences. Participating in the CSJ program allows the youth to experience the small nuances that exist in every field of work that cannot be taught or read about. In my current role, while not being directly related to my current field of study, it helps me develop skills that I would be actively using in my future career. Being the IT lead has helped me develop data and management processing skills that I will inevitably use going forward. Being the team lead has also given me an opportunity to prove my personal communication and teamwork skills, as I have actively communicate with not only members of my own team, but with the leads of the other teams as well.
Yes, thank you, Cedric. And yeah, for anyone that is very interested in this, like Cedric said, he is an environmental science major, but he is in part of the IT part of the IT team in tech. And although that some people may not see it as being directly related, but I did ask him. I asked him one time, and I was like, "Why are you interested in the IT position? If it's like something that's I thought it wasn't related, but he said that it was because he was interested in like the data management, and he was interested in learning like all the different kinds of yeah, data management or like processing skills that will basically he will use towards his career. And it makes sense because whichever education that you fall on or land on, or whatever education that you may have, at least you have the skills that you learn from CSJ in order to move you further into your career or into your related field of study. So yeah, thank you again, Cedric, for that. So again, it can also be difficult as well for any youth who are in school to try and balance work, but I will not go into that yet because I know Cedric is going to share his experience later on. So if I can, for students interested in participating in the Canada Summer Jobs Program, Gwen, could you please give us your input on what you can expect with managing time between work and school? So you get the real questions first. You get the tough, burning question.
Yeah, so with the CSJ program, it allows you to improve your time management skills as someone who's both a student and an employee. You can expect to learn skills with managing your work and school duties while allowing yourself to give rest in between, because that's really important when you have two different like responsibilities to manage. You learn how to create a schedule that fits both needs without forgetting about other tasks and learning how to stick to that routine. CSJ participants who are in school at the same time are able to learn how to prioritize tasks, determine the length of it, and decide if there are any other tasks that can be fit into their schedule. Essentially, this helps you carry this new skill for things that you may do after the program, such as starting a new job or going back to school. It really improves your time management and organizational skills, which is an important skill to have when you're entering any career path.
Yes, that's well said. Thank you, Gwen. So I do have a follow-up question for you, my beautiful Gwen. So guys, Gwen here has finished school, but I am interested because have you done CSJ in the past, or is this your first CSJ?
I did do CSJ last year as part of like a part of my internship program.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And how do you think you were able to balance like the CSJ and the school with all that you were doing? Like what if you were to give an advice to a youth, what kind of advice would you give to them to help them manage their time?
Yeah, so I did my CSJ program like during the day, and that allowed me to do my work or my school duties like at night. That really helped me do my assignments and all my tasks within like a set time period, instead of like leaving your homework for
Mhm.
like the next day or like procrastinating, because
Yes.
like later on that week you still have other responsibilities, like your work duties and stuff that you can't really fit your school duties into. So I was
Mhm.
able to like balance both and help with my like procrastination of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Procrastination is a really big thing, guys. But I mean, like, yeah, I think like for me, one of the biggest things I learned is just like having a calendar. I know it's like the most cliche answers, but having a calendar and having like your to-do list definitely
Mhm.
helps. And I don't mean to brag, but that's why in tech we have a task list of all the different tasks that we have to do. And that's kind of like what we're using right now to for our leads, especially because I know everyone here is pretty busy with planning for the fly project and everything. But yeah, thank you, Goin. Thank you for answering my follow-up. All right, awesome. So for the next one, so now I would like to invite our next speakers, who are both students and also still current CSJ participants and are also currently working in tech. So this is more of like the personal reflection questions based on like their experiences working under the CSJ. But I would also like to invite our other panelists in the room. So Gwen, Gian, Jay, JB, even Kurt, if you guys want to share anything after the speakers, then you can go ahead. But I would like to first welcome Josiah Torres, who will be sharing a little bit about her experience about the CSJ. Go ahead, take the lead, take the floor.
Thanks, Zaya. Thanks, guys, for having me today. So yes, I have been a participant under the CSJ program for about a year now. I started off at Tech last year, and it's definitely helped me to improve my skills that I find useful going into my career path and while I'm doing school. So I was looking to develop skills within a business or office setting since my degree is business analytics. And this degree requires computer-based knowledge, communications, time management, collaboration, and analytical thinking. So I felt that I had some soft skills going into this job. However, being asked to take part in the marketing team, I built a greater foundation on skills that I would be expected to use in the future. I've been learning from my peers on my team on how to communicate more effectively, how to distribute work more effectively as well. And I believe I'm more confident in using these developed skills further into my career, and would definitely recommend this to others taking part in the program, not only for personal development, but to listen to others and to learn from others' experiences. I also find it quite helpful to incorporate these skills into my schoolwork, as my communication is very much more stronger and it's easier to delegate tasks in group projects. And I'm learning to become more detailed and thorough. And in my field of work, I believe that this collaboration and togetherness and cohesiveness is very important. And they're things that I'm glad I've understood more about working in tech under the CSJ program. So yeah, that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Jez. All right. So again, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. So I just want to highlight that Tech is definitely an organization that welcomes you to develop their career skills. And we are more than happy that you were able to have those experiences under our CSJ program and many, many more experiences. And we still continue to grow till this day. And we hope to be a welcoming team that encourages growth and teamwork. So next, and not our final speaker of the day, we still have Cedric to share his experiences of working under the CSJ program. So go right ahead on Cedric and share us your experiences.
So I've been working under the CSJ program at Tech for about a month now. And, despite only working a short time, I really feel like I'll definitely have the chance to use this, to use the skills I've gained here into my future career. Going to this program, I was looking to develop skills related to data and file management, and also just gaining general computer skills. As Bea previously mentioned, I'm studying environmental science, which would require me to work with large amounts of data in the future. Before entering the program, I personally didn't have the strongest background in IT, or I didn't really have lots of previous experience working with computers. So I was kind of nervous to begin with. However, when I started working, I learned that this is a very opening and welcoming work environment where, people they're happy to watch you learn, and they expect you to learn. Sorry. Being the lead of the IT team has also really helped my communication and teamwork skills, as I have to constantly communicate with not only members of my own team, but the members and leads of the other teams. Going forward, I believe the skills that I will develop in this program will help me in school, as I've increased in the familiarity with computer systems, and I've improved my time management habits, and I've also improved my communication skills. I would recommend this program for all youth looking to gain some experience in a future field of work, and for those who are looking to refine their existing skills. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Cedric.
Yeah.
And you do not need to say sorry, sir. You are okay. So I would just like to open up the floor to anyone that would like to share about their own experiences about CSJ. JB, do you want to share a little bit about your past experiences or your current experience on CSJ?
This is the first time I've done CSJ before. It's pretty nice being able to go into this kind of section of the workforce where I'm able to like work from home and work with additional team members alongside with me, especially with the marketing team. They've been very, very nice. Like they're an awesome team to work with. Uh, Getting into graphic design, doing designs for the marketing team has been very um, like experience. It gives me a lot of experience in that kind of field. Uh, so going into tech for CSJ has been a very great experience so far. And I
That's it.
believe going forward with future CSJ, I would definitely recommend other people and potentially sign up for the next one.
Awesome. It's like foreshadowing. All right. What about Gian? What about you? Do you want to share a little bit about your experience with CSJ?
Yeah, I actually was in CSJ before with another organization last summer, and it was very relaxed just because of like the nature of our work. Um, we had around like 40-hour work week, which was a little hefty to start off with because it was like, you know, the first full-time
Sounds pretty
job
big.
experience. Yeah, it was pretty big, but honestly, I got through it and I feel like, you know, more confident to like, you know, handle a 40-hour work week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. See, like I think also like CSJ really brings out kind of like the skills that you really wouldn't be practicing during school. Because I mean, during school, like I can't speak for everyone, but I slacked off during like my years in high school and and going into work, you know, that's not something that is not something that they can tolerate for a long time, right? And so I think like having like that a little bit of CSJ work really builds character in you and regardless of like where you are. So yeah. So I do have a question for everyone here. So why did you guys choose to join this CSJ program? And anyone can go. Maybe Gwen.
Yeah, so I joined the CSJ program under like the marketing assistant because as someone like that's leaving or that's just recently graduated under tourism management, I thought joining like the marketing team would help me improve like research skills, communication skills, and being able to work with like as a group with people. And that really has given me the experience like so far with the CSJ program. Like I've been able to research things and then we've all been able to work together and there yeah.
No, yeah, that's a very good point. So did you so because you were in travel and tourism,
Yeah,
hotel
like
management,
tourism management. Yeah.
tourism management, or
Yeah.
tourism management. Yeah, so because you were in like the whole tourism and management, do you think that the marketing skills that you're learning now can directly translate into what you're gonna do in the future?
Yeah, I do actually. Like in the future I hope to be working with like tourism organizations. I don't know where yet, but the marketing skills I've gained like definitely helps because as someone who would want to promote a tourism destination, you would need to learn like research skills, how to promote it on social media, which is a lot of what I'm doing right now as the
Yeah.
marketing assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to get those good flights right away. You don't want to
Yeah.
just wait. You want to be like research savvy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gwen. So for again going into the YCSJ, Cedric, do you wanna say a few things?
Oh, yeah. Like I said before, I mostly signed up for the CSJ program just to get like to become more familiar with computers. And I feel like it's like going forward, especially going into science. I feel like computers and technology was something I have to be like pretty familiar with. So just having a better knowledge about that would be really helpful. And I think I just really wanted to work in like a team setting. I was just looking mostly because as a science student, it's all like labs and like a lot of
Yeah.
studying. It's a lot of like alone time. So I think just like working on my communication skills, especially because I'm pretty introverted. So like just like exposing myself and forcing myself to talk to other people, I think it's really good for me, like my development.
Awesome. Yeah. So in terms of like your major and everything, because you're an environmental science student, so like do you guys do like any kind of data gathering recently? You're in your second year, right?
Yeah, I just finished our second year. Yeah.
Okay, so you just finished your second year, and have you done any like data gathering during your time, like during your second year in UFC, or not yet?
That we're supposed to start like doing our own data gathering. It would starting our third and fourth year, and maybe the fifth year decide to do it. So yeah, be going into the field, collecting your own samples, and then like processing that and doing your own research based on what you found.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
what kind of like are you guys using a do you know if you guys are going to use like a specific application or something like that, or is it just going to be like on Excel or?
I think it would depend on what type of research you were doing. So you could probably use Excel or different like statistical software like R Studio, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least now you have like that the time to research like what you can use for Excel and all that stuff. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty good. Yeah. All right. So next one. Kurt, are you comfortable with answering why you chose CSJ?
Well, to be blunt, actually, Gian actually referred me to this, but I did it for experience because I didn't really have any experience in IT, and I really wanted to go to IT and computer stuff. And despite my field of study, I actually studied business administration and management, but
Hmm.
I was actually waitlisted for IT, so that's why I took business. So I guess it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really wanted to see what CSJ is like. It's my first time, so
Mhm.
yeah, just for experience.
Yeah, you can always carry like the skills that you definitely gain from CSJ onto like your dream goals or your career goals, right?
For sure. Yeah,
Especially because like yeah.
there's actually another like course called Business Systems Information or something like that. So I
Mm.
think it kind of does relate to what I'm doing right now. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I wish you luck. And you said you're waitlisted right now, right? Or
oh no, that was like before
oh, you
before I
were
took
waitlisted
business
before.
admin.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, I
business
mean,
admin was
still.
my second option.
Oh, okay, I see, I see. Well, still, it's never too late to go and chase your dreams, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully, because you're still new to the whole CSJ, with tech specifically, you're new to the CSJ with tech. Hopefully that you can gain a little bit more of your skills and like, take that onto your next career. Right?
For sure, for sure.
All right. So it seems like we do have a question for the panelists. So I don't think this is targeted to anyone per se, but how does your certain job let you manage your other commitments outside of CSJ? So I think I'm gonna go ahead with Gian.
Yeah. So definitely it allows me to like, manage things a little bit better because like before I used to have like a paper calendar, write everything down and everything. And once it was gone, like I
Mm.
ran out of paper, then like everything just went downhill. So I had
Mm.
to reuse calendars and everything like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like for example, my work week is like 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday, and then anything outside that time, I get to hang out with my friends. I'll like allocate that time with them or any other responsibilities I have. So it's very good for time management skills. You get to allocate your time accordingly.
Yeah, your to-do list, your calendar. Yeah, honestly, guys, it's like the most cliche thing ever. And I know that some people are like, oh, you guys are being like those YouTubers, like those, like, like I think there was like this recent trend. I forgot what they're called, but it's like the girls that tries like hard to be like to have like the perfect day or the perfect morning or something. And as much as it sounds like you're trying too hard, it really works, like having like your to-do list, having your calendar, working out, taking care of yourself is the way. Taking care of yourself is wealth, guys. Come on, let's be real, let's be honest, okay? Taking care of yourself, your physical health, your mental health, it's all part of your life, and it's just how it is. It's the reality of what it is right now. So I guess I have another general question for the majority of you. So what do you think is the most difficult part about job searching? So this one is a little bit this one can be anyone. So I will open it up to anyone that would like to go ahead. Maybe we can start with JB or Gwen. Gwen?
Oh,
Gwen
if
muted? Gwen muted? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
so
Gwen.
I think like personally, as someone who's like coming out of like a degree or out of school, it's really hard to find a beginner level, like an entry level job, because most jobs now are looking for like past experiences, or you need to have a certain amount of like skills that you need to have before you can apply. And like with CSJ, it helps you gain those experiences. So like as I mentioned, CSJ right now is helping me gain like like my experience and skills with marketing and like research and stuff, which I can then later use in the future when I'm applying for jobs that's like specifically for my career field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Same with what Gwen was saying, where a lot of jobs that we're trying to get into, career paths we're trying to get into, this very minimal like entry level where you just need like basic skill sets, while these jobs require past experience, something around 2 years of IT experience, 1 year of customer service, around that range where even though it's like paid minimal, all the expectations are minimal. They want all these past things, which really like it's a bit unrealistic if we're trying to like start from the very scratch, from the very bottom. So having CSJ kind of establish a foundation, a foundation on experience, a foundation on our career really does help.
Yeah, those are good points. Would anyone else like to add anything? Jez, Cedric, Ian, Kurt?
Wouldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. It seems like we're all in unity, which brings me to the next concern, because what do you think you guys have done, or can you do? You know what, let me rephrase this question. If you were to go back in time, and you were to apply to those jobs that we were just talking about, like looking for entry level jobs, but they're looking for master's degree, you're looking for PhD, what, aside from master's or PhD, what kind of things do you guys would do in order to make yourselves stand out, or would try to do in order to make yourself stand out? I'll give you guys.
I can answer that. So I think on top of what Cedric had mentioned prior to, with like IT or business analytics, you're kind of in your own little bubble. So social skills is kind of something that I personally developed a lot more, being able to collaborate in a team instead of just individual work. I think standing out in an interview, you can have a whole list of skills, but if you don't stand out to them being social, or if you don't communicate in a way that makes them seem like you are a right candidate, it's kind of difficult. If you're just there and you're monotone and you're speaking monotone, but you have all the skills, I don't believe an employer would be as enticed to hire you over somebody else who might have like half the skill set as that, but then portray it well in a more professional manner. I think that's one of the things that I would have probably needed in previous interviews.
So just more on like the speaking skills, like the people skills, those would be the things that you would want to have in those interviews.
Oh, for sure. Because even if you know your stuff and you can communicate that well, and you can communicate with an employer well, you can make conversation. That would definitely be most appealing in an interview.
Awesome. All right. Would anyone like to add on anything?
Yeah, I'd actually like to add on. Sorry,
We'll
Cedric.
go Gian, and then we'll go Cedric.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, something I'd like to add on is definitely do some extracurriculars on the side. Like, there's a lot of time in everyone's day to actually do extracurriculars, but no one really looks into those time slots. And it kind of brings out more of like the sociability and even like your work ethic when you're working with other people. Like for example, if you join like a university club, more on like the back end sort of thing, you might learn some skills that will be useful to you in the future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like honing your skills, even though you're not getting paid, you're still doing that work, you're still getting that experience. So when you do go into a job, you have those skills.
Yeah. All right. And Cedric.
Oh, yeah, just building off what Jez and Gian were saying. I feel like networking is really a big part about like finding jobs today. Because sometimes, job searching, sometimes it could just be luck dependent. So just like knowing the right people and like having the right connections in the right industries could really help you. So like joining extracurriculars or being more social in general, I feel like would really help you build a stronger network where you can find more job opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would like to backpack off of literally what you guys have all said. Cause going into like I'm not a very like smart person. I'm not a very like I don't know. I don't consider myself a smart person, but what I can vouch for is I do have like very, very good connections, and I have the necessary or enough street smart skills to know and to kind of like navigate my way onto the business world. Because I mean, me and JV, like we volunteered for like this youth empowerment program, and we have gained like different skill sets through that program, just similar to CSJ, but this time it's volunteering. So speaking about extracurriculars, like it doesn't necessarily have to be like any like sports or anything like that. It can be in anything really that will make you gain the necessary soft skills to have in order to excel in an interview or excel in your field of work or field of study. Because especially like for me, when I was in high school, I did sports and I also did volunteering on the side with like different organizations. And that really helped kind of like boost my credibility in the community a lot. So like just having the connections, the necessary connections, even if it's not related to your field yet, it will still bring you far. I met my mentor volunteering for one of my connections, and I haven't looked back since, because ever since then, like we've just been having like great relationship with each other. She's been helping me like how to excel in interviews, how to public speak, what am I really good at. Because I think that that's one pressure in our community today as well, is being good at many things. And it's so sad to see, because sometimes you don't need to be good at many things. You can be a good in just like one thing. You can excel in one thing and you can be good at that, and you can use that like for your leverage. And I know me and JV, we were like the people that were good at like a lot of things. And but I like look at him now, like you can literally see like he's shining in his own field of work and still doing so many different things. But having that one specific thing that you do really sets you far, and sets you like as a unique candidate for everyone. Because like for example, if you were doing like just an example like graphics design, and then like you were singing on the side, and then you were doing so many things on this end, it's kind of like your focus is not quite there yet. But at least when you have it, and when you're going into CSJ, you're focused on one task and one team and one kind of goal, in order to keep your set in place. And I think in the future, after you do CSJ, or even after you do your education, at least you will kind of have like the skills that you learn in CSJ, and you can like translate it into the career that you're going into. So yeah, thank you for that, everyone. Does anyone want to add on anything else? Kurt, Gwen, GB? Guys are all
I
good?
just want to say, even with CSJ, if let's say you don't know what you're doing in life, you don't know like any career paths you want to take, you don't know what to take for university, CSJ can be a way to experiment on different career paths. So for example, if you wanted to get into business, but you didn't want to like commit like 100%, then you can get into CSJ, see the inner workings, see how a nonprofit organization works or other organizations work. Maybe you wanted to get into a human resources department, and then going into CSJ lets you get on that experience and experiment. So that way, hey, I actually like this job. Maybe I want to get a degree into it. Maybe I want to go like on a higher position for it. then you can get into those different avenues afterwards. So CSJ does really help with that kind of like way if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, well said, well said. Um, okay, awesome. So would anyone else like need to add anything? Seems like we're just backing off each other. Is everyone good? Okay, awesome. So I think that ends most of the questions that we have. So now that we are nearing the end of our presentation, Jazz, if you can pull up the different positions that we have available under CSJ, that'd be great. Awesome. Okay, and in the screen, as you can see, we are hiring still for the Canada Summer Jobs Program. And in order to be eligible, you just need to be between the ages of 15 to 30 years old. And this is going on for the 8 weeks that we have. So yeah, if you're interested, here are the positions that we have available. Swipe to the next one. All right, so these are the following positions that we do have available. Computer systems analyst, which is what Cedric's currently leading, recruitment officers, which we are in need of, marketing assistant, advertising clerk, we have administrative clerk as well, youth workers who are interested in kind of like the social work or psychology side of things, and assistant to the administrative clerk, we have that as well. But in addition to some of this, we are partnered up with, again, going back into our BAs and our business affiliates, we are partnered up with other nonprofit organizations. We help them to kind of apply for the Canada Summer Jobs Program. So like, for example, we have helped we have helped Supreme Hoops before, and FCBA and Willet Basketball before, which are all basketball organizations. And we basically help them kind of fill in their own CSJ positions under the CSJ program. So they have been approved for their own CSJ program. And if you or anyone you know is interested in becoming a non-for-profit, or is interested in applying for a Canada Summer Jobs Program in the next year, then please let us know in the chat, or if you're on Facebook, let us know in the comments, or please message us directly, and we can get you started on that as soon as you do. We do have a lot of business affiliates that we have helped before, and those were just some of the people that we have under our affiliates right now. So yeah, and I think that we are ready for the final part, which is basically we just want to invite you guys to please fill out the surveys that we have. It would mean a lot to us to if we can get a little bit of your feedback and know how we did, what we can improve on, what we did well, what other topics you would like to hear about aside from CSJ. That would be very, very great. And we have also included our Instagram and social media pages on the chat as well, and also on our Facebook. So if you guys are interested in knowing a little bit more about the Expert Collective, those are your go-tos. You can also message us there directly if you have any questions about CSJ. And if you would like to apply, please go to or send us your resume and cover letter to hr@theexpertcollective.ca. So if I will just type it down. So it's at send resumes to hr@theexpertcollective.ca. All right. And that's all we've got for today's webinar. I would like to thank everyone for attending. So thank you to our wonderful audience that we have on Zoom and on Facebook as well. Thank you for giving us your time on this lovely Monday night, or wherever you are, morning, Tuesday morning, everywhere, no matter where you are. Thank you for joining us today. And also thank you for our wonderful presenters and speakers. So again, I would just like to give a shout out. Jez, if you can just take down the screen real quick. I'd just like to show everyone and give a shout out to Josiah. Again, she's part of the marketing lead. We have Gian, who is our HR. we have our newest hire, Kurt, who has been helping us moderate this event. We have Gwen, who is also part of the marketing lead, and Cedric, who is the IT lead, and JV, of course, who is also part of the marketing team, and Anna, who is also, of course, on Facebook. Don't worry, I didn't forget you, girl. But yes, I would like to thank everyone, and hopefully this information is, hopefully you can use this information in the future or in the near future, and we hope to see you soon as part of the Expert Collective team or as part of the business affiliate team if you're a soon-to-be nonprofit. So we'll also be sending a feedback form in your emails, and we're hoping you're able to answer it so to improve our future webinars. Again, thank you everyone, and I hope you guys have a good night. If I can just get the leads to stay here, but bye everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys. Thank you all. I'll just be here. All right. And I will now stop our Facebook Live. Woo!
Yay!
Hold on. Hold on.